since this is like the 30th fucking time I tried recording this video, I wanted to get this done out of the way. And redone because people assumed the worst. So, huge disclaimer, this is actually a person that I used to know. People used to know this person and still currently know this person and still currently talk to this person. So, I'm just gonna say huge giant disclaimer, I don't condone harassment, witch hunting, etc. if you know who I'm talking about. No names will be listed, no names will be mentioned, and I will nickname this person Frat. Don't ask me why. That will just help people find this person. So, why am I gonna talk about Frat? Many people wanted me to talk about Frat after my toxic video came out. Toxic persons video, excuse me. And they were just sitting there like, I'm surprised you didn't talk about this person. This person was pretty fucking bad. Yeah, he was kind of an arrogant asshole, but he wasn't as bad as a manipulative sociopath. So you can see why I didn't waste much time. But I thought this would be a hilarious little story because since I currently still play Dungeons & Dragons to this day, I would love to talk about this guy. Because this guy worships Matt Mercer. Yeah, side note, there's a bunch of people that worship Matt Mercer in my server. I am not talking of anyone in the server currently. Thank you. So, okay, where do we even begin with this guy? Because when I first met this guy, I was in the same abridgment group I talked about in the toxic video. So everyone knows of this person. He was pretty well known because he voiced in a bunch of my friends' parodies. And this dude ended up voicing for me at one point because I was making an Evangelion abridged one-shot or two-shot, I don't know. I just wanted to try it and see if I could do it, and I actually did it. So I was just like, you know, I'm proud of myself, other than the fact that, oh boy, I am quite tempted never to do it again, because it was awful. Like, it was so much work. So, well, I'm just gonna say this. When I first met this guy seemed pretty chill, he was cool, he talked about nerd stuff like we did, and it was pretty chill at first. Until we got into the topic of Dungeons & Dragons. See, this person was friends with one of my other friends. We'll call him Coin. He was a friend of Coin. So, we all hung out, we were talking, having a great time, and he would be in Coin's, stream server, and when I was brought in, because I was a friend of friends, you get my point, I got brought in, we were all talking, have a good time, and Coin brought up the fact that he used to DM for Dungeons & Dragons, and I'm like, that's pretty fucking cool. I've never played Dungeons & Dragons, and I've known it as a nerd game. Sign me up. So he started the game. Everything sounded fan-fucking-tastic. And we played a couple of rounds, and we ended up losing a player, gaining a player. It was one of those situations. And I believe we're in our second or third session in where we're doing our thing, where a bunch of characters are doing something, and insert Frat decides to be main character syndrome. What is main character syndrome? He doesn't play well with others, as you can tell. So in Dungeons & Dragons, I will tell you, as a player and as a DM, you gotta work with your teammates to try and defeat the monsters ahead of you when you come into an encounter. Roll for initiative. Heyo! So after you have your encounter, after teamwork and whatnot, hopefully none of you have died, because the power of teamwork and friendship. This person just didn't do that very much. I mean, yeah, he was only an evocation wizard, so, I mean, of course he's not gonna play too well with others because he has no healing spells. Because, you know, evocation, it's mainly boom, boom, firepower. So, we end up all talking, and it was during the stream, because my friend would stream his D&D sessions. He would always talk above everyone, talk above everybody's characters, over the DM, over the fucking encounter, yes, the encounter description, like everything he talked over. He made it about him, the spotlight was on him, looking in the mirror saying how wonderful him and his character were. And he was just standing there gloating to himself how he's just the best person in the world. Well, a couple streams after that, he ended up getting kicked out. because of this reason. Because he rubbed it in everyone's face that I'm better than you, basically. And so we're all sitting there and we're like, I never really participated in this lovely little action, but as revenge, some people in the game tossed his character over a boat. And there was chanting going on. Toss Adrian off the boat. That was his character, by the way. Toss Adrian off the boat. And of course, my character, being the innocent druid she was just like, I don't think that's a good idea. And he still got tossed off the boat anyway. Hey, but he wasn't killed. We'll get to that later. So, during this lovely little conflict, Frat was also still in my Skype group at the time, because, Skype was still a thing. Am I that old? I was today's old. Whatever. He was in my Skype group talking about it and saying, oh, woe is me, because, we were playing a game and I was just doing what my character would do. Though his character didn't seem like the person to gloat much. She was just kind of the wizard who ended up getting the shit end of the stick because his friends got him into a bunch of trouble. And what I mean by friends is, like, at the time there was our barbarian and another character owned by a bunch of other people. And I'm gonna tell you, they literally used a penis as a weapon. So, yeah, it was kind of crazy for my first time experiencing D&D. But he was talking about all these lovely situations where he's just like, woe is me, my character was not important, even though my character was one of the first characters there and stayed there since the beginning. Me, also been there since the beginning. Well, you see... Like, he didn't like the fact of, I brought up the point, you were kind of being a little bit of an egotistical asshole. Other than that, you were fine. He was an okay player. He wasn't truly rude to the DM, at least until he was kicked out of the DM stream server, because that was when Discord was new to all of us. Yay! So as we're all hanging out in this lovely little stream server, we would always talk about how, D&D and whatnot. So I would always talk about D&D when I came back to the Skype, I want to say Skype server. We would always come back to the Skype group, and everyone was just like, yeah, that sounds really cool, I want to try Dungeons & Dragons, I want to try it. And I'm over here I'm a broke-ass bitch, so I can't get, the DM guide or anything, but if anyone has any, useful tips and information, I want to try DMing my own game. I will tell you, my D&D game was years in the making. Congratulations. So, Frat was just like, oh, I actually have the 5th edition book. It's one of the recent editions. You've only played 3.5, but 5 is actually pretty good. That's what a bunch of us play now. And I'm sitting there okay, that sounds cool. He's just like, I'm actually willing to run a game if anyone wants to try. And so I'm sitting there as a newbie to D&D, and I'm like, I've only played one D&D, so the D&D hankering was coming in because there was a bunch of other conflicts and stuff, so we couldn't play much D&D anymore. So I'm sitting there sure, I want to try, and this is where my beautiful character Lana came from. My zany, just meme of a bard, because bards are always memes, apparently. So, as time went on, the game finally happened, and me, a friend of mine, same friend actually from the Toxic Users video, this is this same gal friend, we were in this game with a bunch of other people, and we had a party with my bard, her, I want to say ranger? Was she a ranger? I think she was a ranger. A rogue, and a barbarian. And all of us were on a lovely little journey to just handle some goblin creatures in the forest for a bounty, because that's how it went. All of us were hanging out, having a good time, doing things, and the DM would always get a little miffed. Not goofed, miffed. He would always get miffed if our rogue did something stupid, which I will admit our rogue did a lot of things stupid, and you would always think, yeah, it's always them bards. No, this fucking rogue cut off an orc penis, and when we visited a brothel, not that I wanted to, but a couple others did, and they're like, hey, join us, and I'm like, well, fuck, sure. We all go into the brothel, and we never saw the orc penis again. That was scary. And that worried me. You don't want to know. So, games in, there was drama going on, and it was during the first time our gal friend had broken up with the sociopath. And during this time, when drama happened, we were having a lovely little discussion in my stream. And we were talking about, if someone rolled a nat 1, what would happen? And all of the different circumstances. So during this, people thought it was shit-talking, and went to the DM and got us kicked out of the game. So you're thinking, well, that's highly likely that someone probably could have took it as shit-talking. I mean, yeah, it could have been. It really wasn't. We were just talking about, like, oh god, I hope it doesn't hit insert character here. But it turned into one of those times where the DM did something horrible. Not only after that game, after we were kicked out, he noted that all of us were uncreative, although all of us are fucking artists. So all of us sat there, because this guy used to beg for free art like it was nothing, and somehow got it. So all of us sat there like, yeah, you are not getting any free art from us anytime soon. Like, I specifically told him, like, dude, no longer are you getting free art from me, because guess what? Here are my commission prices, though, here you go. And, during this time, we ended up finding out that a friend of ours was replacing my character and a different friend of ours was replacing hers. And we're like, okay, well, we hope you guys have fun. Just don't do anything with the orc penis, joking around. Because honestly, we weren't that salty because it was just, a stupid mishap. At least we thought it was a stupid mishap until our characters got brutally murdered and slaughtered. This is why I mentioned his character didn't die. As a DM, I think it's one of the worst things you can fucking do is kill off someone's character without probable cause. And by probable cause, I mean in battle, in an encounter, stepping on a trap, stuff like that would actually kill off somebody's character. So if your characters, honestly, if you kick someone out of your game, just write them off nicely. So you don't turn into the asshole. A good example is a player of mine left my game. Me and her are still friends. So, I wrote off her character, went to go improve himself, because, he was gonna work on himself a little bit before he returned to Goonie, one of the characters in the campaign. So yeah, that wasn't actually, I tried to make it a cool move. Well, Frat decided to slaughter both of us. It was not fun. So, after the whole D&D scenario, it turned into one of those things where he started being all high and mighty and egotistical. Like, I'm talking, if you made one little subtle joke about him, he's just like, oh my god, it was like an offense to fucking Jeebus. Like, oh my god, you insulted me and my god. How dare you, how fucking dare you, I can't believe you've done this to me. It was just one of those weird dramatic effects where he's just like, how dare you? And I'm sitting there like, easily, because you're kind of a jerk. Like, I'm talking, we couldn't joke around with this guy or he'd get butthurt. A good example is he used to talk his D&D all the fucking time in front of people he casually, slaughter their characters. Insert me and my friend here. And we were sitting there because my one friend was actually having a lot of fun with his campaign. And I'm just sitting there like, I don't mind if he talks about it because it's, it's still fun to listen to it, And he had a really cool character, a Warforged Bard. And then he's just talking about how his Warforged Bard would go around doing zany things and, he was trying to find his original creator or something like that. And it was actually really cool. And I'm sitting there like, dude, I would love to listen to this. This is, really pretty fucking creative. I love it. I love that idea. And then he comes in like, well, I helped him. Okay, and you're the DM. You're supposed to help him. Did you come up with the idea of the character? No, I didn't think so. Shut up. Like, he would try to insert himself as soon as he could into the conversation. Another good thing would usually be, since we're all a lovely group of, or semi-group of voice actors, is everyone used to tease each other with certain characters they could voice. A good example is a friend of mine, Yomi, can voice Dio Brando. And he would tease our friend who loves JoJo. So he would be like, Lamau, Dio voice, and my friend would be like, the Dio voice, oh no! As you could see on my channel previously with the hilarious Dio and Shizuo thing. I don't know if I have that unlisted or not, so I might have to unlist it, so cool. As you can see in that video, our friends love to, mess with each other. So he tried his best to do another voice. You know how I mentioned people were obsessed with Matt Mercer? Or if I didn't, I'm not sure all the recordings blended together. A bunch of people at the time were obsessed with Critical Role, because Critical Role was starting a new campaign or something of the sort. It was either during then or at the end of Vox Machina or Vox Machina, excuse me. I am very bad at the English language, as you could tell. And it was during one of these times where everybody was just blabbing on about Matt Mercer, Matt Mercer, Matt Mercer. Matt Mercer is the best DM. Matt Mercer. I mean, yeah, he's a really good DM, and I give him props for that. Like, he was one of my inspirations to start DMing, because I heard how fun it can be around him. But as soon as people started shoving fucking Critical Role in my face, I'm just like, you know, Matt Mercer wouldn't appreciate you shoving that in my face. Know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure he didn't want that. He just wanted to have fun playing, D&D with a bunch of his voice actor friends. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, that's actually really fun, because, you know, who doesn't want to sit in a group of nerds and talk about nerd things? You get my point? So, this frat loved to voice Matt Mercer roles. He even proclaimed himself as the mock Matt Mercer, or the discount Matt Mercer, and I'm sitting there like, are you sure about that? No, I'm serious, because I've heard someone do 10 times better. No offense to him, specifically, because he can still be a very good voice actor if he showed a little more emotion. That was my problem with the whole thing when I did my own parody, because he didn't show that much emotion. So, I even explained, like, a bunch of us explained, like, okay, well, let's see you do it. And he pulled the Jotaro voice that Matt Mercer did for JoJo Part 3. Sorry, all the parts kind of blend together because it's kind of JoJo. So he's basically pulling the, you know, Jotaro Kujo and being like, ha ha ha, I can voice Jotaro Kujo. And it's kind of funny because, like, no one budged. It's just like that meme where there's the crowd of guys sitting on the couch and he does his voice, and then our friend did the Dio voice, and everyone just stands up like, whoa, yeah, you go, dude. It was pretty funny. And I don't mean to be that person, but it's just like, this is kind of what happens when you become an egotistical asshole. Because when you become an egotistical asshole, no one's gonna like some of the things you do. And it got to the point where we ended up making a D&D joke, and a friend of mine made a lovely little cartoon parody kind of thing for Halloween. And we made a D&D joke for him because, you know, he was going to be part of it originally. And when he turned out not to be part of it because he got butthurt, we made the D&D joke. Oops. So, it was also kind of a running gag that this guy that he was going to voice, or our new guy, which was the joke, he was gonna voice, was constantly gonna get the shit end of the stick, because it's the new guy, but he was gonna give the just desserts at the end, which apparently he did not read. So, he basically left us butthurt, very butthurt, and in the end, we really didn't gain much from it, so it's kind of one of those things where it's just like a funny ha-ha to see that, like, I have not seen anything from him since that little incident. But other than that, I'm pretty sure, you know, whatever. I hope he has a good life. Have fun. Kudos to you. Enjoy your whatever you're doing. I also find it quite hilarious when a bunch of my friends who had him voice things found an easy replacement that was 10 times better. Not to make fun of this guy, because he can still do very good voices. Just how easily someone can be replaced. I can be replaced even. So I'm sitting there like, kudos. At least, you know, people get their just desserts in the end. So I hope you guys enjoyed my lovely little story of the frat and how stupid people can be. This was not meant to harm anyone. It's just here to talk about haha moments from my past and whatnot. And trying to look back at the past and be like, wow, this is kind of stupid of me. Wow. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the lovely little story and the lovely little speed paint. Probably drawing something D&D related, because this was mostly drama because of D&D, so, woohoo! So, anywho, I'm gonna be doing my thing, you guys do your thing, and I hope your thing is fantastic. So, you guys have a wonderful day, evening, night, lunch, whatever you're doing, and I'll try to do more of these in the future. So, I will talk to you guys later. Peace. Also, I'm sorry for the chicken noises. There are chickens wandering around here. I literally live in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. I am so sorry.